Hey, Chip Mitchell coming back at you. What's happening? I hope you're enjoying the ride. Today, I got something special for you. One, I want to give you an update on my RYKER. I broke it. I broke my bike. What were you thinking, dude? I'll give you an update on that, but also, figured why don't I talk about the gear that I use when I ride? What are some of the tips and trips about what to wear when you're riding your RYKER? I'll give it to you. Coming back at you. Hey, what's happening, folks? How are you? Chip Mitchell back at you. Hey, I know it's been a while. I'm so sorry. So much going on. You know, my last video you saw, you know, I had a dumb move on my part. What did I do? I broke the bolt holding the steering column together for the handlebars. You know, I've tried so many things, you know, all the advice. People gave me some great advice. I mean, I tried all kinds of things. I tried gluing, let that sit for overnight, see if I could twist it, couldn't get it, tried magnets. I needed a drill bit that was about this long. A drill bit, a left-hand drill bit that was about that long. And I couldn't find one. I combed the airwaves, the internet. I was all over this thing trying to find that drill bit, left-hand drill bit. They had a lot of drill bits this long that were skinny enough to go down that hole because it's so tiny. Literally had to be less than 4 millimeters. I mean, that's just tiny. I'm like, why would you make this thing so small? And couldn't find it, and scoured. I called a couple of places. I went to the local Can-Am shop, which was right here near me in Upper Darby. The guy was like, hey, look, you can, easiest thing to do. He pulled out an assembly of one. He said, look, I got somebody who brought theirs in, and they broke off the nut, and we couldn't get the nut out. He says, you can spend $100, buy the steering column. It's $100. He said, honestly, it's easy enough for you to put it out. I was like, I don't know if I feel great about that because you don't want to mess up steering. And he said, well, or you can have us do it. We'll charge you another $150 or $200. So it's like $350. And I was like, let me see. I called around, found another one in Ben Salem, another Can-Am dealer in Ben Salem. Asked them, hey, here's my situation. Do you have the steering column? You know, they said, we do. We can order it. It takes 3 days. It'll be here. And I was like, oh, wow. And the guy's like, well, what happened? I told him I broke the nut. He said, oh, listen, that happens all the time. We fix those. We can get that broken nut out and fix it. I was like, what? So I took the bike on up to Ben Salem, about 45 minutes away from me. They said they'll take care of it. So look, no RYKER. I can't enjoy the ride. I'm struggling with that one, but that's okay. That's all right. They're going to fix it. I thought they were going to do it this week. I called the guy because I didn't hear anything from him. I said, hey, just check it out. He said, oh, it'll take 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, okay, 2 weeks. If that's my biggest problem in life, you know what? I need to get over it. So it will be fixed. They're going to drill out that broken nut that's in there, and then they're going to replace it with the nut, and I'll be good to go. Back out on the ride again. But boy, do I miss my bike. But that's small. I mean, obviously, there's some other things. My mom, she has cancer. It is treatable, but the last week I've been taking care of her. I moved her into our home. We've been taking care of my mom, and that's been great. We had surgery a couple days ago, and she's doing great. She's in recovery, which is awesome. But my mother-in-law is not doing well. She's got some health concerns. My wife is flown to Dallas, so my wife is in Dallas taking care of her mom. So it's a lot going on. But, you know, hey, God is good. He's taking care of us. There are clear pathways to this and victory, right? I mean, we can see it. God has made that clear. So I'm very thankful for that. But I'm also thankful for you, all the support. So appreciate. You guys know how much I love riding. So I thought I'd do a video today on my gear. Can't talk about riding because I ain't riding. Although you can see my electric bike. I do have an electric bike. I ride that. Not as fun, but I really enjoy riding the electric bike. It's a different kind of ride. And boy, do I have a lot of cool fun with that. And look, it's blacked out just like the RYKER. I am Batman. But what I thought I'd talk about today is my riding gear. I figured, hey, a great opportunity to talk about all the different kinds of gear that I have here that I ride. Some of it I've talked a little bit about. I'll just, for those who are new viewing it, hey, check me out. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Come on. Hey, we're well over 800 of us in this community. I love this community. You guys are great. And the more I adventure out and do things, the more I'm going to share about my journey with you, and your support and encouragement is uplifting in every way. So let's start off with my Joe Rocket jacket. This Joe Rocket jacket is pretty awesome on a couple of levels. One, it's versatile. I've taken out the liner, as you can see inside of that, because this is my summer gear. When you look at all the venting, all that mesh is pretty amazing. It's been 90 degrees, 95 at times, and I've ridden with this jacket. And a couple things I really like about this jacket. One, the mesh. The mesh, when it's 90 degrees, boy, you almost feel like you're wearing a t-shirt. I kid you not. When you're moving, obviously when you stop at a light, it's not as cool and refreshing, but it's not overwhelming with regards to the heat. This is a Joe Rocket jacket. The other thing I really like about this is the high visibility. It's got some serious high vis yellow that really stands out. I'm big on, in the daytime when you're riding, you want to figure out how you can have great high visibility. The accidents that occur, I think it's 91% of them all happen at intersections, not on the highway. And the reason they tend to happen is someone says they didn't see you. So when I'm riding during the day, I like to have as much high-vis gear as I can. And if I'm not wearing any high-vis gear, I have my light flasher on the handlebars, which I've talked about. It's a blinking light, it's a strobe kind of light, and it's really bright, and it just flashes so that people can see me if I'm not wearing a high-vis jacket. But I really like this jacket. It's got protection, elbow protection. It's got a light back protection as well. This stuff is abrasion resistant. You fall. Also, this is high vis at night. This has some reflective gear on the shoulders. You got padding, reflective gear on the shoulders as well at night, which really stands out. The Joe Rocket is reflective as well. You also have a pouch here. So, sometimes during the day, it could be 80 degrees, but then at night, it drops down to 60 or 50. You can put the liner inside of here, take the liner out, and put the liner back on when it's 50 degrees, because at 50 degrees, and you're riding at night, that daggone thing, I ain't gonna lie, it gets cold. But that's my Joe Rocket jacket. And then my Scorpion jacket, this jacket is all world for a few reasons. One, the warmth and the protective material here is second to none. You've got shoulder protection or elbow protection, shoulder protection, back protection. I took my back protection out. I'll tell you why in a minute. But you've got liners. Now these liners are in. This jacket is really for the fall and winter. I've had this jacket on in 18-degree weather. And yes, I've gone on the highway with it. And I tell you, you don't feel a thing. Your core is totally protected with this. But, you can also take the liners out if you want to ride this in the summer. But it's not as cool as the other jacket, although you do have some vents here. You got some really cool vents here in the front. You got vents on the sleeve. The zipper right here opens up. You got ventilation there. You've got adjustability here. You got pockets, tons of pockets here. Then on the back, you also have a tail pocket, which is really nice here. You can store in your liners or any other things. The vents, you vent the front and you can vent the back as well. That way the air flows right through it. You don't look like a parachute going down the highway. Really high vis, reflective material at night as well on the lines. And the other thing with this is waterproof. The other jacket, that one has a lot of mesh, and it does have a water protection liner, so that one can be waterproof. but it's not as good as this one because of the material that's on the outside. This thing, boy, you put this on, you feel like Iron Man. I'm not gonna lie. You really feel well protected. It fits really good, true to size, highly reflective. But boy, the idea that I can ride in 18-degree weather is so inspiring to me, because when the fall gets here, I'm going out, man. And December gets here, I'm going out, and I'm wearing this gear. And I tell you, it is awesome. Now, what do I do for the winter gears? One of the things that I do that really helps me out, and this is for the winter. When I went out in 18 degree, you know, I got my little Spider-Man suit, if you will, you know, some spandex material. I generally put this on. That's one layer that I put on. Then I'll put on another similar, it's not spandex, but it's a sweater type material. I'll put this on. I mean, you can find these anywhere, and I put that on. I love the fact that it has a neck, covers up the neck, that exposed part. You want that to be very warm because the weather gets really cold and it cuts you, and it's just not fun. But I'll put that on over top of the spandex. Then I've got a couple more jacket type things that I'll have. I may put another one of these on, depending on how cold it is. So I may have 3 layers. Then I'll even put on this, a jacket that zips up. And this is just a sweatsuit jacket. I think I got this at Burlington Coat Factory, like, you know, on the clearance rack. And it just had kind of a polyester, stretchy type material. So I put that on and I feel like, you know, a Pillsbury Doughboy, but it's nice, it's firm, it's multiple layers. And then I put that scorpion jacket on top, and honestly, sometimes I get hot. But when it's 18 degrees and you're on the highway, you're not gonna get hot. I've opened up the vents when I do feel a little warm, and boy, it just works real well. Now, when I do this, you know, I got the Under Armour. Sometimes I'll put this on. I'll show you what I use this for. But the other thing that I do when it's cold, I do have my air vest or airbag vest. I put this on, the Climb airbag vest. This thing is really good. I wear this in the hottest days and the coolest days. It's just another layer on those hot days of protection that keeps me warm. I put that on, and that thing, you know, again, it's close to the body. It keeps the core nice and warm. And I've done that, and it's mesh, so it's cool. It breathes, and it won't really mess you up. But that's what I wear, you know, when it's really cold. Obviously, I don't do that now. Although some summer nights, I ain't gonna lie, it gets chilly. When it gets down to 50, it's cold. You get out there on that bike, and 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, it drops. The wind, the chill factor is very different. So what else do I do? So when it comes to, one second. Oh, here it is. So in the summer, you know, like when you ride at night, sometimes it's 70 degrees, and when you're 50 miles an hour, it gets a little chilly. So what I'll do is I'll put on a little spandex t-shirt. I'll put that on, and then I'll put my vest on because I wear the airbag. And the reason I do this is every car I drive in has an airbag, has a seatbelt. My motorcycle doesn't have a seatbelt, doesn't have an airbag. There's a reason that manufacturers, it's a mandate to put that in. So, you know, and I'm new to cycling, so I just feel like for me, it's probably best if I err on the side of caution as I continue to develop my skills as a rider and understanding what's out there on the road, that I, you know, do what I can to protect myself. And so I'll put this t-shirt on, you know, this little spandex t-shirt, it's Under Armour. I put that on underneath this, and I'll put this on. And then what I'll do is I have some biking long sleeve shirts. These are dirt bike shirts. I got a few of these. They're just cool in color, you know, and I'll put this over top of that, and you really can't tell. And because it's the evening, or it's 70, 65 degrees at night sometimes, this really, it just works great. You know, it covers up your arms. You're not freezing. I got my protective gear on, and honestly, I feel great. I don't feel hemmed up. Now, do I always wear my airbag? Not always, depending on where I'm going. Sometimes I ride around the housing developments, and I'm only doing 25, 30 miles an hour just throughout the developments. And, sometimes I just say, I don't want to wear it. I always wear my helmet. But, it just gives me a lot more flexibility. Sometimes people don't want to wear the jackets. They don't want to wear the high vis gear. And I'm cool with that. And this is a way to do something different that keeps you feeling fresh when you're riding. And you can put it over this if you want. And if you don't want to wear that, that's fine as well. If I were to do that, probably at night, I just put this on because my bike is lit up. It's got all kinds of underglow. So I feel like people are going to notice me. Less chance. I'm reducing the factor of accidents because it's very visible at night. And so maybe I'll just do this. But I really, really enjoy this jacket and this shirt. And they come in all kinds of great colors, which is cool. I like to match my sneakers, as you can see. I got my reds on, got my red shirt. I like matching my sneakers with, these. I got blue pair of sneaks, and so I do that. I do have riding shoes, which I'll do that video for those another day, just showing you different shoes I have. I got 2 different pairs that I wear, why I wear them, why I like them, what I don't like about them. But these are really cool to get. You get these at your motorcycle shops. I'll put a link in the description for some of the stuff that I have up here. But I really, really like that as well for one of those days where I'm just doing some cool things. Then, say if I got a night on the tap and, I want to go out and I'm feeling like a real biker. This leather jacket is really awesome. This thing is just fantastic. It's called First Classics Classic Leather Gear. And I got this in New York. And it's genuine leather. It has a really good liner. You can take the liner out if you want. But this leather, I tell you, there's always arguments about, is this better than textiles? Leather is just fantastic as far as that skid-proof stuff. You fall off the bike, you get knocked off the bike, and you're sliding down the highway at 30 miles an hour. 30 miles an hour is not fast, but 30 miles an hour of concrete rubbing up against your arms or whatever, let me tell you, it leaves a mark. I fell off my skateboard, tore up my arm on the skateboard. Well, it wasn't my skateboard, it was my daughter's, and it just shredded my skin, and I wasn't even going 30 miles an hour. But boy, you figure you're going out to have dinner or some late night desserts, you're taking the wife out or something like that, or you're going to a restaurant, you want to be bad to the bone, you wear the leather. I love this jacket, and honestly, I can put this jacket over the vest if I want, or I can say, you know what, I feel confident with this amount of protection going out to dinner or going to a Mexican restaurant or going out for a drink or so. This jacket is really awesome, and the thing about it gives you a different look, a different appeal, but it gives you a different level of protection. And so for me, it's figuring out what level of protection do I feel comfortable with when I'm going, whether it's hot weather, cold weather, what level, or where I'm going, what level of protection do I really want? And this leather jacket is a great option. You get a great leather jacket. Now, here's the cool thing. I bought this in New York during the pandemic, before I even had a motorcycle. And I was like, babe, I really, I'm going to get a motorcycle one of these days. And they had them. And guess how much I paid for this thing? You will never believe it. $50. $50. It was this leather shop in New York that was going out of business. And they had a bunch of leathers. And it was a store full of leather jackets. And I found this one. And I bought this one. I bought another one. It's not really a motorcycle riding jacket. And I got, because, I don't know, it just looked cool. And I got it. It was $50 as well. So I got this for $50. You can't beat this. This is a great jacket. Great one. Great one. Now, what about when it's cold? When it's cold, you gotta have some good pants. These pants are the bomb diggity. Rode these pants up to Massachusetts, 38 degrees. You slap these bad boys on. They've got a warm liner. They've got a rain liner. They're waterproof. They got knee protection. some hip and behind protection. These pants are the bomb. I'll put the link in the subscription. I just love them, man. They are just so, this is Moto Nation. And these are 2XLs. And I got 2XLs because one, I want it for my boots to go in here, because I wear my boots when it's super cold to keep the toes warm, because your toes get cold, you're coming in. But these is waterproof. It's got skid protection, knee protection, some slight hip protection. This is great, and they keep you warm. That's the big thing. You know, you don't want to get cold when you're riding in the winter. I don't wear these much in the summer. Like I've been uninspired, even with the liners out. I haven't been inspired to wear them. If I'm going on a long trip in the summer, I'll wear them, because you're out on the road, rocks getting kicked up and all that kind of stuff. I want some great protection for my legs, and so that's when I would wear those. Then I've got my rain suit, which I've talked about before. You know, this rain jacket has got to be one of the best purchases. This is HWK. This thing is fully waterproof. It comes up around the neck. It can go on top of all of your gear. You do have some pockets here. It's a high vis as well as some reflective material. The back, you see it's tapered around the hips. It's got reflective material. I paid 30 bucks. 30 bucks, I'm pretty sure, for this. 30 or 35 bucks. Comes with the pants. The pants have, they wrap around by the ankles. You put these on with your boots in combination. You are good to go. And you can put this over any of these other items over here. It goes over it. And so I got a little oversized, so that if I do get caught up in the rain, and I don't want, you know, sometimes it's just raining a little bit and no big deal, but if it's pouring down, you just want to be able to protect yourself by having a great rain jacket and pants. Because I tell you, that water splashes up on you, it is cold. And then here's the thing, when you get wet and you're going 40, 50, 60 miles an hour, it is like a refrigerator, man, and you don't want to be wet. It's a miserable ride, and you can't enjoy the ride when you're cold and wet. But this is the jacket that I use. This is just a tidbit of the gear that I use, the riding gear that I have, and I mix it up. You know, when it's hot, I've got a few different options. When it's cold, I got a couple different options, and I like having options based on how I'm feeling before I go out and ride. And you know what? I love it. It's cool to be able to switch it up, getting a new look, just like the RYKER. You know, the RYKER, you have the opportunity to switch up the colors and do things differently. Why not be able to do that as well with the different riding gear you have? It gives me options, and these are the things that I use, and I hope that this was helpful unto you. Listen, here's what I need. Like and subscribe. In the comments, let me know what else you want to hear. And listen, in about a week, I'm getting the RYKER back. Oh yeah, baby. But I'm going on vacation. Well, not vacation. I got a work vacation coming up. But I'm going to ride the RYKER. I can't wait to get it back. Hey, it's Chip. I love you. Thanks. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you.